Hi, I'm Kirstin Kelly, and today's video is on correcting a bulging shoulder. So mainly this happens with young horses or quite supple horses, and it will generally happen on one side of a circle more than the other, sometimes on a young horse always towards the gate. So what I want you to think about is make sure that the horse's neck stays right in the middle of his shoulder. So think when you're sitting on top of him and you're looking down at his neck, his neck should stay right in the center. Once he starts to overbend his neck too much, you will leave the outside shoulder unprotected and he'll start to drift out. To help fund these videos, you can become a patron for as little as $5 a month. If you would like to contribute, please check out my website, KirstinKellyEquestrian.com, and you'll check out the Patreon page there. Thanks very much. Always make sure that you're sitting very centered, because if you're leaning in or you're leaning out, that's going to be a disaster because the horse will always be compensating for your balance. The other thing, and that's super important, is make sure you've got him in the outside rein. The outside rein for a horse is basically like a barrier on a road. So if the road barrier is missing, the horse is going to keep driving off the road all the time. So really have a look at your outside contact. You may even need to hold the outside rein with the saddle blanket for a little bit, just to give your horse a really steady contact. And making sure that when you pull slightly on that inside rein to lead him to turn, the only thing that stops him from bending and actually realizing that you don't want bend, you actually want him to turn, is the outside rein. So in a normal circumstance, when you ask for bend, the outside rein just feels elastic and it allows him to bend to the inside. When you're asking him to turn, the outside rein is remaining steady so that when you guide him with that inside rein, he follows it and he turns. See here how our outside rein was a little bit wiggly, so the horse was able to bulge out through the shoulder. The best things to fix a bulging shoulder is the square exercise. So you can see how she's riding him nice and straight and then she's using the outside rein to get him to come around. The square exercise is fabulous. Absolutely love it. And in the comment section below, I'll put the link to it so that you can click on that if you haven't seen it already. And I'd love to hear your feedback. If you like it or you've got any questions, just fire them in the comments below. The other exercise, which is absolutely fabulous, is a little bit of counter flexion. So a little bit of flexion to the outside, which helps get the neck centered, and then follow it up with a little bit of leg yielding on the circle. Also, I'll put the link to that below in the comments as well, because leg yielding on a circle, for a horse that's very supple, we don't want to be leg yielding out. We want to do a little bit of counter flexion and just leg yield him in, and then that just teaches him to stay, between your leg and hand, so that when he gets bulgy towards the gate or something like that, you can actually fix it by just hugging him with your outside rein and using your outside leg. Now remember that the way that you use your hands is super important. See how here she just uses that outside rein slightly towards the neck, and that just closes the door on the outside shoulder and gets him to come around and turn.